cafe anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
FF episode 1890, 1890. I am your host, Mike Matthews, and this show is dubbed Mike's Daily Podcast. It is a show where we cover things that are important to your life, and I sing a song at the beginning of every single show, and I've done that 1890 times. Oh, that's a lot, isn't it? Whoa. You're just like a mirror. And that's the thing about life. Mirrors don't lie. Cameras do. Film does, especially today with how we can Mike's Daily Podcast. Tweak what we're seeing, but no, you know what? Mirrors don't lie, except in the fun house. Mike's. Is this a fun house for you? Daily. Are you enjoying the show so far? Podcast. I'm asking too many questions. Yeah! Because that's what they do when you're at a sermon. The pastors ask a lot of what? Questions. Because they want to know what? That you're listening. Oh, these are teachers too as well. Professors in universities, they'll ask yes, and then you know that they came about because of the what? Depression. And then who? Rocket science. The show today is not trying to aspire to be anything. It's just trying to be a show that looks at things like salutations, goodbyes, people leaving. I spoke with Kim Vestal, who has gone on to bigger and better things at KCBS. She's leaving KKDV and KKIQ, but she might be back. I gave her a little going away party, and Kim Vestal was thankful for that. If she's listening, hello. And the last thing she said is she left KKIQ, KKTV, was Vestal out. And that's the thing about life is Vestal out. We have our Vestals that we wear that I don't even know. You can tell I don't know what a Vestal is, don't you? There was that Vestal Virgin line in the Procol Harum song.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Procol Harum. Oh, by the way, one of the members of that band did a couple albums with Brian Ferry, and that leads us to who I am seeing this evening, Brian Ferry of Roxy Music, of Slave to Love. And love is the drug, and I want some more. Oh, can't you see? That's what I'm telling you, is that I don't go see concerts anymore. And honestly, I'm getting a little bit of anxiety about it. I don't know if I really want to go see a concert because, well, when I go, there's lots of people and I hate the parking. Oh, wait a minute. I'm taking Bart in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm going in via Bart. And I'm happy about that. Thank you, Bay Area. Basil. Basil is getting more and more fans at the Earl Warren Dog Park place. He visits there often with myself, helping him walk. And people go, oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so wonderful. Oh, you're the greatest owner ever. Oh. And then I tease my lovely lady friend that the Russians I meet, because there are a lot of Russians in the Bay Area, or people, I don't know if they're from Russia. They got the thick kind of Eastern Europe accent. Very close to this type of accent. Da. And this one guy, I always joke that they probably think I'm an idiot because it's a rough country, those countries. And I think when animals don't walk anymore, they just chop them, mean them. What did he just say? I don't know. But so I'll say, hello, you have little dog that can't walk anymore. I have wood chipper. Yes, that's I don't know, stereotyping a little bit. Maybe he's not Russian. Maybe he just had that accent. But no, he didn't actually say that. In fact, he had a dog, and he thought I was doing a good job with the dog, with my dog. And so, yes, I carry my dog around with the back side, and then his front side can walk. And people go, why do you do that? Well, he wants to walk around. He enjoys it. And maybe I am extending his life a little bit longer, that he's not laying down all the time. He can move around because of me. I'm helping out. And you know what? I get a reward too, because all that weightlifting I wanted to do to try and buff up my arms and shoulders, it's happening whilst I am helping my dog walk around. So you see, it's a win-win. And my dog is awesome and the nicest personality, and it is the funniest thing. So people have to say something to me. When I'm at the dog park, people have to chime in. They have to go, oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's so... What happened? Oh... And I just, after a while, I guess this must be what like a celebrity goes through when everybody recognizes him or her. And, you know, after a while, he's like, yeah, okay, you know me from that movie, TV show. Okay. And I'll never experience that because nobody listens to this show, but except you, I guess. So the thing is that people, they'll hear with dogs, particularly, especially if you're at a dog park, people are going to say things. And they're going to go, hey, what an amazing thing. And I don't know if I'm starting a trend. All I know is my dog wanted to walk. I looked online. Someone actually suggested the harness thing, and I found a harness. They can charge upwards above $100 for a harness. I found one for under $20. And it works great. It's been working fine. So it's comfortable for him, allows him to walk. We've gotten into a routine. Why not? And then everybody asks, why don't you get him a wheelchair? And I say, that's tempting it. That's, first off, I wouldn't get my buff arms anymore. Second, he's got a second level of problems that can happen. Because if he's in the wheelchair, let's say he crashes, which I hear those things happen with the dogs. He can't get up. He's going to be freaking out. He ain't going to like it. And why? So that he can move around on his own. He doesn't move around much on his own. Anyway, when he needs to move, he moves, and I follow along with him. I don't quite get it with the wheelchair thing, but everybody has to chime in about a wheelchair. Plus, I want his back legs to move. In the wheelchair, they're just going to hang there and dangle. I want him to actually feel the ground with his back legs as much as possible. Is this explaining anything? Is this helping you in any way? Am I asking too much questions of questioning of this sermon of mine today? No, I don't know. I don't care. Hey, here's an interesting thing. Anxiety. This is a fact I heard about as we go outside a cafe. Anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast. So we're in Podcastro Valley 10 today. Interesting thing about anxiety. Anxiety causes you to make more mistakes. You don't learn from your mistakes with anxiety. You just cause more and more. If you find you are making more and more mistakes, you might be suffering from anxiety. It's best to help it, get it to go away, and you'll be fine again. See, we beat ourselves up over mistakes. We get all wrapped up. It becomes this negative spiral, this negative loop. We need to get out of that. Back into the positive spiral, spinning around. Dancing. Dance away the heartache. Dance away the pain. That's a Brian Ferry song. Okay, one more Brian Ferry song and then I'll stop. There's a band playing on the radio with a rhythm of rhyming guitars. They're playing, oh yeah, on the radio. Oh. You didn't expect this much singing on this show, did you? Well, I'll be on the radio tomorrow morning on a station called KKDV. You can listen in the Contra Costa County area Sunday mornings, and actually Monday morning as well, from 6 a.m. till noon at 92.1 FM. And then also, if you are outside of the area that I just mentioned, you can listen on KKDV, as in DiabloValley.com. And I'll have someone listening possibly from the show. Maybe someone who's heard the radio shows listening to this right now and going, ooh, wow, he's actually talking quite a bit longer than I heard him on the radio. Because with music radio, you can't talk for long. Because they don't come to your radio station for the talk. They come for the music. But I work for some talk radio stations, and I work with some people that do talk radio, obviously, and they have to, well, they talk within the certain allotted time, and then hosts get them out of the talking into commercials. And this would be the live portion of talk radio, which is very important to distinguish because you listen to possibly NPR, and a lot of that you're hearing on NPR is not live. There are, I think, some local shows where they have an interview. It's an interview talk show type thing, but like All Things Considered and Morning Edition, those are all pre-recorded segments. So generally they'll go and they have enough time to edit out any flubs, any mistakes. And if they make multiple mistakes, let's say they suffer from anxiety, they can chop all that out and everything's fine, dandy. By the way, the podcast picture today is of this guy right here meeting us outside a cafe anyway.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant, and I never make any mistakes, day.
So you don't suffer from anxiety?
Oh, yeah. Anxiety. Got that, day.
Well, you're in the podcast picture today. We have a little discussion about September.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that month at all, day.
September starts tomorrow. When is September?
Love that song. Don't sing it, day.
I won't. Hey, look who else is here.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. I don't know what you've been talking about today.
Anxiety.
Podcasting has a lot of people that they're not talking live, right?
Well, it depends. If they're recording the podcast, anything that you record, you do have the ability to edit. But for me, when I do this show, I pretty much don't edit anything. Except this part right here. You couldn't tell, could you, that I edited that, did you?
Mike Matthews, you and I talked for about 20 minutes. You edited the whole thing out?
I did an edit right there. And there, just then.
You edited out the part where you and I sang that old Sonny and Cher song. Do you believe in life after love?
Well, that was after actually Sonny had passed away at that point. But yes. And that was a very interesting song in that it had a lot of auto-tuning in it. And it had the Cher looking all robotic and whatnot. Who was was it Scott Thomas from Kids in the Hall? He's the gay comedian and he loves to talk about the fact that he's a gay comedian, and he loves to talk about how Cher was this robotic Cher and a super Cher and a total icon to gay men. That's what he said. So I don't know, but I do know that Cher was in a movie called Burlesque, which I was discussing with my lovely lady friend last night, that had Christina Aguilera in it doing some acting and I guess stripping because it's burlesque, and they do some of that and there's feathers involved. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I know Stanley Tucci was in the movie. It was on TV. I just happened to see it as I was walking past the TV set. And that's like the only thing she ever acted in, Christina Aguilera. Cher, also a musician, a singer that went on to act, as well as Andre 3000 of Outkast and others. But Cher did a lot of roles. Christina Aguilera, not so much. Why? What do you think? 336MM Daily. That's 3 plus 3 equals 6. M as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast has been doing the past 2 days anyway. Been daily. We'd love to hear from you. And you can click your tongue on the phone call when you leave a message. And there's a, what do you call it? When you call the 336MM Daily, you'll hear me live from here, Cafe Anyway. And it's You'll be actually calling Cafe Anyway. And you can see a picture of Cafe Anyway at MikesDailyPodcast.com, as well as today's podcast picture. Look who else is here as we wrap up the show. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. We are really big fans of Cher, but more so of robotic Cher. There's a robotic Cher? Yes, Cher the robot. Cher 3000. Oh, that's like Andre 3000. Is Andre 3000 a robot? Floyd? John Deere? Oh, they didn't want to answer that and they walked away. Maybe Andre 3000 is a robot. And we never knew that. I don't think Brian Ferry's a robot, but he's 73 and he's going to be singing this evening at the Fox Theater in Oakland. I cannot wait. So I will talk to you. Hopefully next show I'll have a review of that wonderful concert, the first concert I've been to in years. And we'll get to that next show, hopefully, God willing, and all that. But next show will also be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Enjoy your day. Good luck with the anxiety. And make a mistake or two. Makes life more interesting.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.